thought you said we couldn't do this again.
That was before.
Before what?
I saw who you really are.
So a few months before Reacher Season 3 even dropped, fans got some exciting news. Back in October 2024, it was officially confirmed that Reacher was coming back for Season 4. Now, this early renewal didn't come with a whole bunch of details about what the next chapter will actually be about, and honestly, that's probably on purpose. It makes sense they'd want to avoid dropping any Season 3 spoilers before the new season even premiered. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Reacher has gotten the green light early. Season 3 also got rushed into development pretty fast, mainly because Season 2 had been such a big hit. Amazon clearly didn't want to lose momentum, and it worked out pretty well. It's part of a growing trend, really. Streaming platforms like Prime Video are now treating shows more like events, and viewers are eating it up. But that also means longer waits between seasons for some fan-favorite shows. Thankfully, Reacher has avoided most of those delays and has kept things fairly consistent since its debut. Season 3 made its debut on February 20th, 2025, and because Season 4 was confirmed so early, it's safe to assume production on the next installment will get rolling pretty soon. That early renewal helps the creators hit the ground running without having to wait around for the green light, which is a smart move. The sooner they start, the less of a gap fans have to endure between seasons. And with how competitive streaming has become, consistency like that makes a huge difference. But of course, the big question now is, who's going to be joining Jack Reacher on his next mission? That's a tough one to answer right now, because details about Season 4 are basically non-existent. The one thing we do know is that Alan Ritchson will absolutely be back as Jack Reacher. There's just no show without him. His take on the character has turned him into a breakout star over just a few seasons, and fans love how he nails both the brain and the brawn of the role. Each season has followed Reacher as he drops into some new part of the country, gets caught up in a whole new mess, and meets a completely different cast of characters. That setup means there's usually a fresh supporting cast every time, which makes predicting future cast members nearly impossible until more information drops. Still, there's one familiar face fans can probably count on seeing again, Maria Sten, who plays Frances Neagley. Neagley, a former Army Master Sergeant and longtime ally of Reacher, has popped up in every season so far. Their bond is pretty solid, and she's always there to lend a hand when Reacher needs it most. Plus, with a spin-off series centered around Neagley in the works, it wouldn't be surprising at all to see her continue showing up. As for other returning characters, that's a bit more up in the air. It's possible, but Reacher doesn't really follow a traditional continuity that brings everyone back. Even though the show has carved out its own identity, it still sticks to one key structure. Each season is based on a different Lee Child novel. That's been the formula from the start. But because the show doesn't adapt the books in any particular order, it's really tough to guess what's coming next. Season 1, for example, started with The Killing Floor, the first Reacher novel published, though not the first chronologically. The later seasons have bounced around with no set pattern, so there's a whole library of over 24 books to choose from going forward. There's plenty of speculation already swirling about which book Season 4 might tackle, but fans probably won't have a clue until more concrete info gets revealed. That's kind of the charm, though. Each season feels like a standalone journey, with Reacher traveling somewhere new, getting wrapped up in local problems, and kicking butt along the way. Once Season 3 wraps up, things should start to come into focus for Season 4. Alan Ritchson's performance has been a huge part of what makes the series work. He brings this rugged charm and raw power to Reacher that totally fits the character, and it's honestly hard to imagine anyone else in the role at this point. And while it's awesome to watch him on the small screen, he's also been branching out into movies, and that's a pretty exciting development. After wrapping up Reacher Season 3, Ritchson already has a bunch of film projects lined up. One of his most recent appearances on the big screen was in 2024's The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which somehow slipped under the radar despite being a Guy Ritchie action flick. Before that, he popped up in a couple other movies like Ordinary Angels, a drama starring Hilary Swank, and the high-octane sequel Fast X. But let's be real, Ritchson is way overdue for a breakout movie moment. Luckily, his upcoming projects look like they're about to change that. He's starring in The Man with the Bag, a Christmas-themed action comedy that's got some serious star power. He'll be teaming up with none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Awkwafina is also in the mix. That alone sounds like a recipe for something both hilarious and explosive. Then there's Playdate, another action comedy, which will see him sharing the screen with Kevin James, Alan Tudyk, and Isla Fisher. So expect a blend of laughs and chaos. On the more intense side of things, Ritchson is taking the lead in Motor City, a gritty revenge thriller set in 1970s Detroit. In that one, he plays a man named John Miller, who's wrongly framed and sent to prison by a rival gangster, only to come back for revenge. Shailene Woodley and Ben Foster are also in it, so the cast is stacked. Then there's War Machine, a sci-fi thriller about elite military recruits facing an alien threat, and Runner, which is all about a courier racing against time to deliver a liver across the Australian coast. As if that wasn't enough, he's set to appear in Painter, written by John Wick creator Derek Kolstad. In that film, Amber Midthunder plays a woman trying to rescue her kidnapped father, and it's a safe bet Ritchson will be playing the dad. He'll also star in Fortune, a new Jerry Bruckheimer production that sounds like another high-energy adventure, possibly written by the duo behind the Minecraft movie. Oh, and let's not forget Counting Miracles, which is based on a Nicholas Sparks novel. So yeah, his plate is full. Looking at all these roles, it really feels like Ritchson is gearing up to become one of this decade's biggest action stars. He's got the look, the physicality, and the charisma to pull off what guys like Schwarzenegger and Stallone were doing back in the 80s. And although TV is definitely having its golden age right now, there's just something about the big screen that suits Ritchson perfectly. Now don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Reacher hit 10 seasons. The show's got plenty of source material, so it's not out of the question. But hopefully that kind of long-term commitment won't end up holding Ritchson back from really blowing up in Hollywood. With the right mix of movies, he could become one of those actors we see headlining multiple blockbusters a year, just like Jason Statham or Liam Neeson have been doing. It's exciting to think that one or two of his upcoming movies could finally launch him into that next level of stardom. War Machine, for example, already has some serious buzz around it. But honestly, all of these films look promising, especially with the talent both in front of and behind the camera. If they hit the mark, we could be witnessing the rise of the next great action icon. So, while we wait for more details on Reacher Season 4 and get hyped for the Neagley spinoff, it's nice to know that Alan Ritchson is just getting started. Whether he's solving crimes, saving lives, or blowing stuff up on the big screen, one thing's clear: he's not going anywhere anytime soon. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.